and hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. How do they go be Main Street lawyers? How do they help people who need legal services? And I pointed to 3 potential sources of problems where we lawyers maybe should look internally rather than blame others for the problem. There's plenty of blame to go around. I'm not a big blame guy, but I am a look inside guy. And what do I see in our profession? There are 3 things I pointed to in that article. First, our own ethical rules. It's a very unusual profession where we're allowed to regulate ourselves. It's quite an extraordinary privilege. Usually it's the legislature, right? But lawyers basically regulate themselves. And do all of our ethical rules necessarily help our clients? Or do some of them help us more than they help our clients? And I point to some that, for instance, regarding the unauthorized practice of law. Why is it you have to be a lawyer to help parents with disabled children in administrative proceedings to seek relief under IDEA? Was an example I pointed to. Why is it that every time certain companies that provide online legal services for basic things get sued every time they move into a new state? Why is it I can go to Walmart and get my hair, teeth, eyes taken care of, but I can't get a landlord-tenant contract drawn up? Those are all results of our ethical rules. And I'm not sure whether they're worth the price that we pay for them. It's estimated, I've heard, I can't verify it, that our ethical rules result in a $10 billion a year surplus to lawyers and clients every year. That was one. Number 2 was our own rules of procedure, which yield cases like the one we talked about. It took 25 years to resolve. That's wrong. That's wrong. Should be able to resolve cases in less time than it takes for my law clerks to be born, raised, and get through law school. And the third thing I pointed to was our legal educational system, where we have 3 years of postgraduate education for everybody who wants to have anything to do with lawyering. The best lawyer in the country in this history came from your state, Senator Durbin, and he didn't ever go to law school. And he always said the best way to become a lawyer, read the books. Still true. And other countries around the world don't have 3 years of postgraduate legal education. Now this is where Justice Scalia and I, this is a disagreement. He thought 3 years was necessary for everybody. I'm not convinced. In England, where I studied, you could become a lawyer through 3 years of an undergraduate degree, or 1 year as a postgraduate degree, all followed by a lot of on-the-job practical training. And I wonder whether all that debt is worth it, or whether it induces people to pick jobs that they have to pick to pay their debt, rather than to serve the people they'd like to serve. Those are the problems I talk about in that article.
Judge, you make this statement that the rules sometimes yield more nearly the opposite of their intended result. Expensive and painfully slow litigation that itself is a form of injustice. Can you think of many things more unjust for people of modest means in America than being denied access to the courts because our system is so expensive, it's so time-consuming, they just simply can't afford it?
I think it's a problem when 80% of the American College of Trial Lawyers, the best lawyers in the country, arguably, they certainly think they are. Sorry. When 80% of them say that good claims are priced out of court, and 70% of them say that cases are settled based on the litigation costs rather than the merits of the litigation. That's a problem run both ways. And these are lawyers who operate on both sides of the V.
So basically, you either have to be able to pay a lawyer's hourly rate, or you have to agree to some contingent fee arrangement. And lawyers aren't going to take a contingent fee case unless there is at least some reasonable prospect for their being compensated out of any settlement and judgment, ordinarily.
Ordinarily, some do. What we're seeing today, though, Senator, is an explosion of pro se, that is, filings by by the person without a lawyer. And that's what I was trying to address there. I do think access to justice in large part means access to a lawyer. Lawyers make a difference. I believe that firmly. My grandpa showed that to me. What a difference a lawyer can make in a life.
Judge, let me ask you about another case involving the little guy. This was an immigration case that you'll recall was a conflict between two provisions of immigration law.